Back on MorningLine, thanks for joining us. Dr. Friday Burke with us with what appears to be some facsimile of a Jackson Pollock piece of artwork behind her. I don't think that's actually a true Jackson Pollock, which is, known for his art splatters and the like. Is that a piece?
GG special. My mom made it.
Did your mom make it? That's a large piece of artwork there.
Canvas.
Canvas. That's what I was looking for. The word
canvas.
Canvas.
Yes.
What makes the lines on it? Is that the thick
I believe
paint?
Grass.
What?
I believe it's straw.
Straw.
It's straw.
It's really cool.
Mom glued straw and painted it. I mean, every artist has its own uniqueness.
Yeah.
But you know how Mom was, Nick, and so there you go. That was a piece of GG line.
I'll tell you what, I really like it. I really like it. It's pretty neat. Yeah. All right, let's take some more phone calls. We'll go to Connie. Okay. Connie, good morning. Hi, Connie.
Hey, how are you today?
Good. What can we do for you, ma'am?
Well, I'm calling to find out, at the beginning of all this stuff happening, the stimulus checks were for the married couples, correct?
Well, married or single.
Okay, my husband got his, but I never received mine.
Oh, okay. So we talked about this before, Dr. Friday. Okay, if there's a married couple and a check goes to one but not the other, what?
Well, did he receive $2,400 or did he receive $12?
Yeah, do you know how much he got in his check? Connie?
Ma'am?
Yeah, Connie, can you hear me? Do you know how much your husband got in his check? How much was his?
He got $1,200.
Okay, so he got the $1,200. Okay. So, because I know some married couples
together, Nick?
And you filed together?
When he was working, we did.
Okay. So they always kind of filed together, but he hasn't filed recently, I guess.
No, he's retired.
Okay, and did you ever work, and are you collecting Social Security or any government, benefit right now?
Yes, I am.
So they know you're out there. They know who you are. They know you're there. All right, what could the reasons be? I mean, this is interesting. I mean, if they filed together, then the checks...
I don't think they did.
Okay, so maybe they didn't. So if that's the case, is she still waiting? Is it possible the government doesn't know about her?
Yeah, that's my guess from what, and again, I'm reading as much as you are, Nick, between a little bit, but I got the opinion maybe they're both retired, they haven't filed taxes. He may have filed taxes in the past with her, but it sounds like, I mean, the question is, did she file a tax return or 18 and 19? It doesn't sound like she would have had to. Therefore, she's probably just like our prior caller, where they're on the list. These are someone that's receiving this, in one case disability, one case maybe Social Security, and they just haven't received it. I would suggest her calling that number, the one we have, and just see if they can give her a status update. That would be my suggestion. Let's
give out that number again. It's 1-800-919-9835. All right, so grab a pen and paper there, Connie, and anyone else. And I'll give that number again at the end of the show, so you'll have time to write it down, okay? But I think Dr. Friday is right. I wouldn't give up. As we say, they're sending out the checks until September. There's just a reason your husband got it first, probably because Dr. Friday's right. He filed most recently, and you haven't, and they haven't gotten to you yet. So, just be patient and make that call. I'll give you that number later. Let's go next to Larry. Hi, Larry. Hello, Larry. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
I've watched your show off and on for years, and I've watched Dr. Friday off and on for years.
Thank you.
Now, I've got a question for her, and I've called several numbers at the government, the IRS, and different places, and I am 89 years old. And I retired when I was 70, and my accountant retired at the same time. And all these years, I've been filling out my tax form on the 1040, and I have never made enough money to pay any taxes. So what I'm wondering is, Dr. Friday, can you tell me, do I have to do something special to just quit paying taxes?
Okay.
I would love to tell you the answer to that is there is a special, like a clearance letter you can get and say, hey, you know what, Larry, I no longer have to, here's your letter. They base it on every single year. So, I mean, I have many clients that every year we just evaluate it. And if they don't require to file taxes, we don't file taxes. You know, and then if something happens, maybe they take a large distribution, inheritance, they sell something that requires them to have to report, that's the year we would file. So every year you still need to do the basic calculations. Unless your only retirement is Social Security, then I can guarantee you, then you don't have to ever file, because Social Security in itself is not taxable without other income. But if you have a pension and a IRA and a few things like that, then you might need to calculate every year just to make sure that nothing's changed on the situation. But there is no, I've hit a certain age or a certain period in life and I'm automatically excluded. Sorry.
Okay, so stick with it. I know, yeah. He's 89 and still plugging along, but maybe he wouldn't have to if all he's getting is...
Tired of taxes.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, okay. I'm sorry, Mary Elena, did you say, is it Frida on line 4? Or Freda, okay, Freda rather. Freda, are you there, Freda? Freda, are you there, ma'am?
No, this is Charles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles, you go ahead. I apologize.
Charles.
I hit the wrong one. I'll get back to Freda in a second. Go ahead, Charles. What's your question?
That's okay. My question is, I filed my income tax, for a refund. I have a refund coming. I mailed my check in on March the 25th. I have not heard anything from them. I have not gotten a refund back. And I don't know what to do. I've tried to call the number that I used to call to check on my refund, and they don't tell me anything.
Wait, why did you pay anything if you had a refund coming?
I didn't pay
He means
anything.
he
I
mailed
called.
his tax return.
I mailed my income tax
Oh, you mailed it in. Okay.
Requesting my refund check.
A check.
Okay, I'm a dummy on that. Dr. Friday always reads between the lines. Go ahead, Doc.
I get these questions a lot more than you do, Nick. Okay, so we have found out directly from the IRS that anyone that mailed their return in from basically April 15th back, those tax returns have not been seen. They are sitting on desks. They are working their way now in July through that stack. You're going to be looking at another 60 days. Then you should be able to check where's my refund if you haven't physically received it. It's just because the IRS closed down, as you know, from about March 27th till about the first week of June, thereabouts. So long story short, your taxes have probably been received but not processed. They will be getting them, and then once they get them in the system, I'm telling my clients, just keep looking at the irs.gov, where's my refund? Check it maybe every week or every 2 weeks, and it should be in there relatively soon, next 30 days or so, hopefully. They are trying to catch up, but they were way behind. I didn't realize a lot of people mailed their tax returns, or that many people did, but a lot more people than I knew did, because I get a lot of calls on it.
Yep. All right. Well, that helps. He just needs to wait, but it should be coming. Let's go to Anna now. Anna, good morning. Hi, Anna.
Good morning. I'm so glad I got you, and I enjoy your MorningLine show. It's very helpful.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
I wanted to ask a question. I get Social Security. I get a little under $500 a month, and I'm hoping that for older people like me that have health issues, we do get that second stimulus.
Well, sure. I know a lot of you probably are. Did the first one really help you out?
It sure did, because I was behind on my bills. I have bills like everyone else, so...
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it looks like there may be something. We're not sure yet, but Congress and the president are looking at it right now.
I'm praying so.
Okay. Well, and it's interesting, Dr. Friday, we talked about it earlier. There's a woman like this, and I totally understand her need for it. I fear that Congress and the president are going to be looking at this, and at least as fear for her, is that they're going to look at it and say, well, as hard as it is for her, she has not been hit by the pandemic the way someone who's lost a job. And the idea was to give money to everyone to stimulate the economy, but as you heard her say, she's going to use it to pay for bills, not to go out necessarily and go shopping for. And Well, I'd love for her to get that check. I think they're going to say, look, this is about helping the people that really have been hurt by the pandemic. She's struggling because her Social Security is not what it should be. She's not making enough. But is that what you're talking about, that they're going to say, look, we need to focus this more toward those who have really been impacted by the pandemic? And I don't think she has the way others have.
Right. And again, I feel for all of them, anyone that's trying to live off of such a low fixed income, I'm not saying that any kind of additional income isn't necessary or even needed, but it wasn't a direct effect because of the COVID. That's what this money needs to be really targeted to at this point. We have people that, have lost jobs, that are trying to support families, keep a roof over their heads, feed their children. And again, I'm not making light of their situation, but when we're talking about stimulus checks, I believe the next one, and I could be completely wrong, but I believe the next one should be more targeted to the direct effect of this virus, not just a stimulus to stimulate the economy, because we need to get people, obviously back working, but we can't have, like the gentleman that called, he can't work. There's no place for him to go. So, what do you do when the entire industry has closed?
Yeah, I guess the point would be that, Anna was in dire straits before the pandemic hit. And so I'm sure that stimulus check was a godsend for her, and I'd love her to get another one, but I don't know that that's the way they're going to go necessarily. Let's go to Pat, one more call. Pat, good morning. Hi, Pat.
Hi, good morning. I have two questions. I have did some investigation on my own. There's some people that someone else has claimed, and they still got someone else claimed them on their taxes, and they got a stimulus check. They're not treating everybody the same.
Yeah, you're saying someone illegally claimed someone and collected the check instead of it going to that other person?
No, it's their relative. Like the lady I talked to her today, she said that she claimed her son and he got a stimulus check. My daughter claimed me, and they said I can't get one. My daughter should claim me because my daughter's paying for me, is buying me a car.
Right, and you're saying someone else claimed and that person did get a check?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, see, that sounds like a mistake, one way or the other, right?
Well, it is. And I think that is very far between. And I would actually question if that was, I know what people say to each other. Don't get me wrong. I've heard this over and over and over. This person got that, or this person gets to take this off their taxes. Why can't I? I would definitely check that out. And keep in mind, anybody that cashes a stimulus check that wasn't entitled to one, in theory, could find that they have to pay that money back. That's not the purpose of the stimulus. The IRS is, so if she claimed that child on the tax return and that child is over the age of 17 and they got a full $1,200, I would say that, don't be surprised if they get a letter. Once the IRS figures this out, and it may not be until after 2020 when everyone has to report how much money they've received, or they're able to go back and review this because, but, nothing says that the IRS can't collect overpaid stimulus. There's nothing in the rule book that says they can't collect it.
Yeah, so they'll be going back and looking for any mistakes, I would imagine.
Sure.
And then they'll come. And, we had some questions about that, about people cashing the checks maybe for deceased loved ones that received them.
Right.
And under most of those circumstances, right, if the loved one's deceased, does it matter when they died, to what degree? Obviously, if they died before the check arrived, is that the issue?
Well, the argument in the tax rules is if they died before January 1st of 2020, and in 2020 they will be filing a tax return, then the stimulus would be still there because they were taxpayers in the year they received it. The IRS says if you have passed away prior to this time period, it doesn't make a difference. You need to be returning it. I will tell you that. That's what the website says.
Yeah, and I know people
no matter what.
Collect those checks and they see them and it's tempting, but the best bet, I guess, as you've said, is return it. At the very least, set it aside, because at some point, the IRS is probably going to track you down. You're going to owe some money. Better
They may.
deal with it
and,
now.
You know, that's what I try to prepare.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
If you spend it and it's gone, then you're in a pickle. Dr. Friday, awesome. We had, oh boy, we had a lot of phone calls this morning, and I'm really glad you could stay with us for the whole show. We'll do this again as long as you're willing, and you take care of yourself. I know it's a busy time for you now as you're counting down until after tax time, and then you can relax, right?
Exactly.
Take care of yourself. It's good seeing you. We'll see you again soon. All right. Bye-bye. Dr. Friday Burke, appreciate her coming on. We're going to take a break. When we come back, programming note about tomorrow right after this.